Let's look at compound walls. How do you create compound walls? Now, what is a compound wall? A compound wall is, imagine you have like a fence that you have to build around, and you have to actually create the wall. Now, the wall is normally going to have a different design than the normal walls that we create. You already know how to create your walls, normal walls, with layers and all that from your beam course. But we're going to be looking at how you can create a compound wall. A wall like this, maybe it has a different material at the bottom, and then of course it has a parapet at the top. So let's get into it. And of course, the first thing I'm going to have to do here is let's create a new project for this. No, I don't actually want to save that. I'm just going to go new, and I browse and go to the metric template, open up a new metric template. I want to set my units to meters, like working in meters, 2 decimal places, but you can work in any units as long as you know what you're doing. I'm just going to select the wall command here. I want to set this height to, let's say, maybe 4 meters. And we have the basic generic 200 wall, that is 20 centimeters thick or 0.2 meters thick. I'm just going to draw this like this, just do that for 10 meters. And this is the wall, so select this. I go edit type, and I just want to, what do we have here? I just want to duplicate this. Let's duplicate this, and I'm gonna call this my external, you can give it any name, block wall, let's just call it that, and we go edit. Now the first thing you want to do is make sure that preview, you click on preview here so you can able to see the wall. And by default you'll be able to see by the floor plan view like this. So you just want to click on this drop down and you select to modify type, so you should open up this section, and that's actually what you want. And now what we're going to be doing here is we will be building the wall. Now if you look here, we have the exterior side and the interior side, so we'll start by building the exterior side, and then I'll just leave it to you to do what you want to do on the interior side. Okay, so let's say this is our wall, and we want to add a block, or want to do some stone work at the bottom, and then maybe now at the top maybe some painting or whatever design you want to do there, and then we'll do a parapet. I will just do it very simple, but with what you're going to learn, you are going to be able to actually really build your wall very well, so that it comes out the way you actually want it to come out. All right, so I'm going to come here first of all for the function for this one. This is 20 centimeters thick, that's okay. I'm just going to change the materials for this. It's a block wall, so let's just look for some block kind of. I'm just going to take this CMU, this concrete material masonry unit, and for the cut pattern, anyway, we just allow it like that, and okay that, and then I'm going to click up here, and then I'm going to click up here, and I'll just click on insert. Now remember, we are adding this on the exterior, so that is why we're going on this side, and I want to add our stone wall here. So what is going to be the thickness? Let's just say it's going to be like, say, maybe 15 centimeters or so. So I'm just going to come here. First of all, let's give the material. So assigning the material, I'm just going to select stone, and let's just look for any stone that we have here. Any stone, maybe this one. This one, the cut pattern is not there, so I'm just gonna select any cut pattern here. It doesn't really matter as long as it's distinctive, and we give it a thickness. I'm gonna give this a thickness of 0.15, and as you can see, we have that thickness there. Okay, so this is what we have actually just done. And then now what I'm going to do with this wall is, just for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to separate it into two. So the bottom layer is going to have a different material, and the top layer have a different material. Okay, so let's say maybe this bottom layer is the stonework, and then the top layer here is going to be like maybe some sort of plastering, and then painting and stuff. So we'll apply a different material down here and another one top up there. Now we already have the stone material here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another layer, and this one now is going to be a finish layer. Just call this finish, and then I assign the material. I'm just going to bring in some paint material. Let's even say maybe the gypsum wall board, this, and we okay that, but I will not give it any thickness, and you'll see why. Now I'm going to come here to split region, and I just split this layer. Let's say our stonework has to go up 1.5 meters. So I click here to split that. How do you know that you've split it? First of all, you see the dimension there, and secondly, you see now that here has been changed to variable, which means there are two different layers there now. Okay, now for the gypsum wall board, I'm just going to select this, and I come to assign layers. Then I'm going to click on this part up here. Let's zoom in a little bit. And you see, so what do you notice? We have now assigned this finished gypsum wallboard layer that we created to this part at the top, but at the bottom it is still the stonework, and you can also see the thickness there has actually it has taken the thickness of the default wall of the stone, which is 15. So it's going to be our stone wall, and then up here we have another type. Now you can do the same thing and you continue building your wall on the inside, but in order for you to do that, I'll just do just one at the inside here on the interior. So I'll come down here and I'm going to go click on insert, but you always want to make sure that the main structural layer, which is this one in the center, should be in between the two core boundary layers. So I'm going to click here and I move this up and make sure this is down. I'm going to change this to be a finished layer, and then down here I'll give you the same material here, the gypsum wall board. Just copy that, Ctrl C, paste that there, and I'm just going to give that a thickness of 0.0, maybe 2 even. And as you can see, we have that in the inside. One thing you never want to do is to press the escape key when you are doing this, like you're gonna get out of here. Always make sure that you build up everything before you you actually okay that before you press your escape key, because if I was to do that now, it's just going to cancel everything and I'll have to start back from afresh. Now let me show you now how to put the parapet. First of all, let's go back and we'll see the changes. So I'm just gonna okay this, okay again. This is a wall in 2D. Let's switch that to 3D. I'm going to switch this view to realistic, and let's flip this around and we see what that is looking like now. Okay, this is actually what we have. As you can see, now we have to put the parapet at the top. So I'm going to select this again, go back into edit type, and I come here to edit. Now we're using a sweep to do that parapet, so I'll go to sweeps and I want to load in a profile first. So I'm just going to go to load, and you want to come into now for some reason some of these profiles are not actually found in the metric folder. So because what I want is to come into the Imperial folder, I want to scroll down to where you have profiles, and you want to look for finished carpentry or the wall. Well, since we are looking for parapet, so I'm just going to go into wall, and I want to select maybe this parapet cap precast, this one, and I open that. Okay, that has been loaded in. Now I'm just going to click on add, and I want to make sure that the parapet, you see the parapet cap precast, it has come in with different sizes. So let's say maybe that first one. For the material here, let's just give that a concrete material. Concrete. I'm just going to select this one just so you can see the difference. I okay that, and then most importantly, the distance, we want this distance to be left at 0, since we want it to be at the top here. From what? From the base? No, from the top. So we want this to be left at 0 from the top. That's all we need to do. And when I click on apply, now you see that that cap has been placed there, but you see that size might not really be good. It's smaller, so we just need to come here. Maybe we'll go for a 16-inch one, and I think that is better, as you can see. And I can just okay that, and that is it. So if I was to okay this, click on apply and okay again, now you see we have our full wall and the parapet at the top. So this is actually a full wall. If I was to come in here and I even delete this wall, I'm not going to delete that. Let's just select this and we start drawing around. Let's say something like this. Press the tab key. We want to make sure that is actually that wall, and let's see how that is looking like in 3D. You can see that this is a whole wall already built, and you have the parapet on top. This saves you the stress of actually doing this, doing a normal wall, and then you are actually doing this separate. And then of course, before you have to start seeing how you can use a profile like maybe a generated model to bring out the parapet. I think it's easier this way. I hope you have learned something today, and see you all in the next tutorial. Don't forget to click on the link in the description to get the full BIM course.